The Work Sharp Precision Adjust Sharpener. Coming at you. Well, hey guys, welcome to Bohoning Soul. Okay, so we're gonna do a little knife sharpening and a little product review this episode. So those of you who are, hunters, outdoorsmen, that kind of stuff, or even like kitchen cooks, right? You're probably obsessed with your knives and broadheads and blade sharpness, right? We're kind of obsessed with this stuff. And, anything less than a razor's edge won't do. And it needs to be the right edge. So how do we sharpen these things? Well, there's a whole variety of things we can do, right? We can use like a hone, like a ceramic rod. We can use a like a whetstone or something like a flat stone. We can use a file. I typically file sharpen these. I love using like a mill bastard file to do these. It's kind of therapeutic. But if you're trying to get a consistent edge on something like this, like kitchen knives, like a little paring knife right here, right? And I put as much thought into getting these things razor sharp as I do getting these or my pocket knives or anything like that. So what to do, what to use? Well, you can use, like I said, a variety of different things, and there's lots of cool sharpeners and things on the market. There's electric ones, there's sanders. I've tried the 1x30 belt sander thing. It doesn't really work that well for me. The belts on them that usually come, they're not very good. They're kind of garbage. They're good for rough grinding, but to get a fine, consistent, edge, I either like doing it with a file by myself, or I just picked up recently this knife sharpener. Okay, so this little deal here, this little guy is pretty slick. So this actually comes in multiple pieces here. I'm going to kind of assemble it for you here. Okay, this comes like this. Okay, so here we have the actual sharpening with the rod with the 3 stones in here. I'm gonna get into this in a second. This is where your blade is actually held, and then this actually clicks in here with like a little magnet. I'm gonna show you. And this, of course, you can change your angle. This moves up and down, and this changes the angle of this rod, right? So you get a nice consistent angle. You can go all the way from 30 to 15, okay? 30 degrees to 15 degrees. So on something like a kitchen knife, you probably want somewhere 15 to 20 degrees. I set mine, this one, at 20 degrees, just to do it. With something like an everyday knife, your pocket knife, that kind of thing, you might want to do like 25 degrees. Broadheads, you might want to do 25 to 30 degrees. I'm probably going to try 30 degrees on this one just to see what kind of edge I get, and make it consistent. So when this thing comes, it is, like I said, it's in multiple pieces. It comes with this base that you kind of click into, and this is pretty neat. So you got this piece right here, which is like the blade holder, basically. Okay, it opens up. Yep, you can open it up. It opens up. Okay, and then it's got this wheel over here that tightens down on whatever it is that you happen to be holding. So now on the back, it's got 2 magnets. Okay, these 2 on the outside. The middle one here is kind of like the rod that the little tightening knob spins on. So what this does is it clicks into the 2 over here. It just basically pops in just like that, okay? And it holds it in there. And then you've got the rod part. Again, this is, piece of metal, there's a magnet inside of here, and you just basically, I can do that real quick. It clicks up, right? Pretty slick. It's on like a little monoball kind of ball joint kind of thing over there. And the idea, of course, is to clamp whatever you're going to do in here, and then you can have nice consistent angle that you can change. Of course, you can change the angle up and down this way, but you get a nice consistent angle, and it's got a nice long sweep and stuff like that. So very, very cool. And then, of course, when you're done on one side, instead of having to unclamp it and reclamp whatever it is that you're sharpening, you just pull this out, flip it 180, put it in, and it's done. All right, I'm gonna show you here real quick. I'm gonna set up the broadhead I'm gonna do. I did the kitchen knife earlier, and you can do, again, a whole variety of stuff. But I'm gonna do this as Wiki Eskimo, so hold on one sec. Okay, so we're all clamped up over here, right? I got my Eskimo right here. I basically made it in line with the ferrule, okay, bumped it up to there. And here is the actual sharpening rod slash stone. I didn't really go into detail about this very much, but it's got 3 different stones on here. you got a 320 grit, and then this basically just, this rotates, it kind of clicks in. You've got a 320 grit, you've got a 600 grit, if you could read that this way, a 600 grit right there. Is that gonna come out properly, upside down? Whatever. And then you've got a ceramic, a really fine ceramic hone on this side. So most of your sharpening is probably gonna be done with the 320 at first, and then you can kind of move on. So I know I said I was gonna do 30 degrees, but I'm gonna do 25 on this one. So just like this, we click in, just like that, okay? And I'm gonna readjust you here. Okay, so all we do, right, is just nice kind of even strokes like this. You can go back and forth. Someone's probably gonna say, well, you're not supposed to go both directions like that, but it doesn't really matter. You're basically trying to reprofile. You're trying to reprofile an edge, right? Now we're not using any oil or anything like that, but every now and then you might want to just kind of, you know, wipe off some of the dust and the grit. And what you're trying to do, we're not going to go through the entire thing. I'm not going to do the whole like, you know, zipping this thing through like, you know, 8 feet of paper or whatever and show no tears, because this needs a little bit of work, and it's a little bit going to be too long for a video that I'm trying to make short. But basically what you're going to do, just like any kind of sharpening, is you're going to get this bevel, right? You're going to get this bevel done like this, back and forth, but don't forget about the tip, about the edge. So you're going to kind of maybe like sweep kind of forward to make sure you get that. And then when you start raising a burr on the backside, you can feel it. You're gonna be able to feel it. You start raising a burr on the backside. What you do, carefully of course, you just take it, flip it 180, do that. Now your broadhead's pointed the other way, or your knife or whatever. And then you're gonna go back, same deal, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until you start raising a burr on the backside again. And then that burr basically is, you know, the point, so it's gonna go like this way, and it's gonna go like that way, and it's gonna go this way, and then that way, and that way, that way. And then eventually it's gonna fall off. Now what you're gonna wanna do is then switch to your, you know, finer grit, right? So you just kind of hold this and just rotate it basically. That's the ceramic, so, you know, finer grit right there. And then same deal, okay? You're just gonna do one of these. And then if you want, you can do the hone, right? Which gets a fine, you know, gets rid of the really kind of fine polish. Now what I did find with this one is I still had to do a little bit of stropping. So don't forget the stropping. You can do it on a piece of cardboard. I do it on a piece of cardboard. I actually bought a leather strop and it doesn't work very well. At least some chintzy Amazon thing. So a cardboard works really well, and then on your jeans or something like that works really well. But it still leaves that fine little burr that you gotta get it off by stropping. You're just not gonna get it off. I don't care what you use. I've never used anything, whether it's you know, a sander, sanding belt, file, anything like that, that actually gets that off completely. You have to do the stropping. Even though this has, like I said, the ceramic side on it, it still won't do it. But again, this will get you super nice edge. You'll get a consistent edge, nice and sharp. And like I said, you go up anywhere from 30 degrees to 15 degrees, and it's just really slick. It's really slick. You can do this, you know, you just turn this thing. You do the same thing with kitchen knives, like I said. You may have to, you know, push the knife in and out kind of thing in order to make sure you get the right angle for it, or I'm sorry, not the right angle, to make sure that you have enough clearance for your angle for when the rod comes down, so that it's not going to hit this. So the longer the blade is, let's say, I don't know, like a chef knife or something like that. You know, this is kind of skinny, obviously. You're probably gonna have a harder time with like a fillet knife, maybe even, but you got to kind of hold it out farther, and you know, you just got to make sure that this isn't gonna, you know, that this doesn't hit this. You know what I mean? It's clearing it right now, but of course I got it at 25 degrees. When I originally did this knife, I had it profiled at 20 degrees. I don't think it quite would have made 15 degrees with this one, but and of course, you know, you gotta, you know, this holds it pretty tight. It does a pretty good job of it, especially if it's got something solid to you know, line up against over here, so this isn't gonna rock on you like this. But you know, if you do a knife and it's a knife that can't, it's got a little V notch in there. you can kind of butt it up into there. But if you do that, I found that it doesn't quite get the really like low angle, shallow angle, and not hit over here. So you gotta kind of play with it a little bit. Of course, when it's out a little bit farther, you can, if you're not careful, do one of these and rock it. But it's just like anything. You gotta kind of learn your equipment. You gotta know how to use it. So here you go. This is it. Precision adjust, work sharp, sharpener. I'm gonna leave a link below. This thing is I've been kind of playing with it here on a whole bunch of my knives and a bunch of my broadheads and pocket knives and things like that. And yeah, it's been years because I do really keep a good edge and make sure I steel the edge on my kitchen knives. But I mean, they've gotten to the point where they actually need like reprofiling. So it's done a fantastic job. I'm super happy with it. Really well thought out product. Really easy to use. You know, like again, just flip. You know, a lot of these other ones you gotta like. It's only, you know, stationary, so you got to unclamp it and you got to make sure it's in the right way, and then back and forth. This makes it so much easier. So there you go. I'm going to leave a link below, and yeah, make sure you guys head out into the field or into the kitchen with razor sharp blades. All right, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And then leave the comments below of how you sharpen and what you know, what edges do you get, that kind of stuff. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.